More phone games of the narcissist. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So I've created many videos on the phone games of the narcissist going way back to 2021. And again, it's that time of year. I'm being inundated with emails and people asking questions about how the narcissist does what they do and why the phone is so important to them. I'll dig into those topics and many more here with more phone games of the narcissist. You need to remember the narcissist uses their phone not just to communicate with people, but to control people. I coined this expression a couple years ago, which was the cell phone that you have probably watching this video on used to be used as a remote control that the narcissist would control you with, whether you were in the same town, city, state, country, time zone, any part of the world. If you were connected with them, you were thinking about them. You were tethered to them on that invisible leash, if you will. And the narcissist knew that because the narcissist is a master manipulator. And when the cell phone first came out, they figured out rather quickly that they didn't have to get supply in their little neighborhood or on their street block or at their little university. They could now get supply 24/7 on the smartphone. And as broadband expanded and as the digital age improved, and as more and more seamless ways to communicate popped up via the smartphone, and I'm not even referring to the laptop, the desktop, and other things. I'm referring to the smartphone, the phone. These people, i.e. the toxic people, the narcissists, they figured out, wow, I have a portable device in my pocket, probably 2 or 3 of them, wink, wink, and I can control multiple people at any one time. Not only that, there's a note section on my smartphone, and I can take notes and create templates and send things like these in the morning. Good morning, sunshine, thinking of you. Or texts like these in the evening. Good night, sweetheart. Pleasant dreams, I'll be thinking about you. Now, they didn't just send those texts to you, but possibly you thought that. They were sending those to other people because the narcissist is dull and they're boring. There's no originality to them. All they do is copy, they mimic, they steal. These people are thieves in the night. And what they want to do when they find something that works is they want to put it in their arsenal, in their weapons of destruction, if you will. And the template text is just one example of how the narcissist kept you strung along. There's an expression that I coined years ago also called bookends. Many of you are starting to use it now. Many of you, maybe other people that are creating videos are understanding this. A bookend is not only a bookend, like you have one bookend on the left and then books and then a bookend on the right to hold up books on a bookshelf. A bookend is what the narcissist does virtually every day of their existence. See, they wake up, and to keep their tiny little ego pumped up, the first thing they do before they shower, if they shower, or brush their teeth, if they brush their teeth, is check their smartphone to see who's on the hook, to see who texted them 5, 10, 30 times last night, to see who responded to them, to see who didn't, to see who's taken the bait, to see who blocked them. This is an ongoing thing with the narcissist. It's what they will be dealing with for the rest of their lives. But a bookend is when you were trapped in the cycle and you didn't even know what narcissism was. You would be waking up looking forward to that text from the person. Or if they groomed you and told you that you needed to be the person who communicated with them, then you would be sending them all the heart-shaped emojis and all the puppies and rainbows and all the beautiful hearts and everything. And what would they be saying to themselves? They'd be saying, got a live one here on the hook. All right, well, it only took me 3 weeks to get this one, or maybe it took a couple months, I can't tell you, but now they knew that they had another source of supply that they were tapped into in the morning. So that's a morning part of a bookend, and another part of the bookend is the evening, when they say goodnight, or when you said goodnight and you never got a response. See, you started your day off communicating or reporting to the narcissist, and you closed your evening doing the same thing. And it's not just in a 24-hour period when the sun rises and when the sun sets. Same thing applies with the bookend theory. Again, this theory is really important that you pick this up. Same thing on weekends. Well, if you had a narcissistic workplace boss, well, that person probably tried to blow up your phone or your energy field Friday at 5 o'clock when you get out of work. And then your whole weekend was spent thinking about them. Did I do the report? Should I have done the report? What happens about this? Oh, I left 15 minutes early, I'm gonna get in trouble. Is HR gonna write me up again? Things like that. Well, then Sunday night before you go to work, the narcissist would rear their ugly head. This is your workplace bully / narcissistic boss. And they would blow up your day. Say, tomorrow morning when you get in at 9 o'clock, don't even punch in. Go right to the HR. I'll meet you there. And now you can't even sleep Sunday night. Why do you think they did that? Right, it's to ruin your Sunday night and to set the week off in a bad tone. So those are bookends, and I can dig in way into those experiences that I had. And yes, those are real life experiences, and so many more in other videos or when I speak publicly around the globe. But until then, I will share this. The more phone games of the narcissist. So we talked about the emojis. I will just refresh your memory. If you fell into the emoji minefield, what you did was this. You probably weren't even using emojis before you met the narcissist. Maybe you were, but maybe it was just like a thumbs up or a wink or something, whatever it would be. But you meet the narcissist and now they're grooming you. You don't even know what grooming is at the time, but what happens is they tell you that they love you, they want to be with you, and they're thinking about you, and you're the best person, you're the yin to their yang, you're their soulmate, you complete them, and they're just really sitting at home or wherever they are at their desk, just totally thinking about you all the time. Well, you're getting lathered up, but you don't know this. So then what does the narcissist do? This is early days. They send you a heart emoji. And you, because you're falling into the trap that they had set for you, but not just you, dozens of other people, you send them a heart back. What do they do the next day? They send you 2 hearts and they send you a smiley face. So what do? That's right, you can't just be satisfied with sending them 1 heart because they just upped the texting games and the phone games that they are masters at. Now you send 3 hearts and 2 smiley faces. 3rd day happens, they send you 5 hearts and a whole bunch of sunshine and whatever it is. And then what do? You go overboard, you send them 20 emojis, whatever they are. See, now they know they have you. Now they know that you're on the hook. And what do they do over time? Well, those emojis disappear. They slowly fade away on the behalf of the narcissist, but you're still sending the emojis, holding the bag, thinking, well, wait, what happened? They used to send me so many, and I know they love me and they care about me because they're always texting, but the emojis disappeared. What happened? Well, the narcissist just ripped the mask off, but you weren't supposed to figure it out. So now here you are using emojis you didn't even know existed, all different colors of hearts and all these things that you researched to try and figure out what the meanings were because you tried to send the meaning to the narcissist. They already studied those emoji meanings years ago and they pulled back, and now you're asking them, hey, where are you? What are you doing? What's going on? Well, this is via text. What do? They read your text. This is one example. You get 2 blue check marks and then they go radio silent. Now, let's say it's a Tuesday morning and you're at work and you sent them all the emoji texts and they don't get back to you. Then you send them, hey, are you okay? Is everything all right? Well, what do? They read it, the 2 blue check marks, then the whole day you can't focus on your work. You're not doing what you should be doing. You're checking your phone every 3 minutes. Your battery's running low. You don't have a charger. You have to borrow the person in the cubicle sitting next to you's charger, and they themselves are on the hook, but they don't even know it. You certainly don't know it, and now your battery's down to 12%. It's 4:30, and now you're wondering where they are, meaning the narcissist. And what happens here? Well, now your boss just comes in and says, into the office. Remember, the workplace bully / narcissistic boss. I'm tying these things all together, and I hope you follow this. Now, they call you in the office and say you're going to be on a PIP, a performance enhancement program or whatever it's called. And now your whole Tuesday's been blown up, and now your cell phone battery's dead. And now what do? Well, you don't have a charger because your coworker left. Now you drive home, and what's happening? The narcissist is sitting there eating the food that they ordered on your dime, and they're blaming you because you were unavailable. And you would say, well, wait, I texted you early in the morning and I was checking my phone, but you weren't around. What happened? And then they just shrug it off. I was busy. I was in a meeting. Oh, I didn't see the text. Oh, I didn't have time to talk. I got sidetracked, or I was stuck at work. And then you would be scratching your head saying, but I waited and I was looking. I don't get this. And now I'm on a PIP. And what is this? And this is how the narcissist twists the knife. You see, whatever you did, it wouldn't be enough. Whatever you would do, it wouldn't be enough. And whatever you thought you could have done, it wouldn't be enough, because the narcissist is a shapeshifter, and they love and they need the phone games of the narcissist. So there are a couple examples, real life examples. Another one, let's say that you got hurt. Say you had a medical concern, you broke a bone or something. Well, was the narcissist there to help you out? Probably not. Did they give you a ride? I doubt it. Were they there with you when you had to get your meds and all those things? No way. What happened there is maybe you were laid up at your house for a little bit of time and you told them, hey, I need someone to pick me up meds, or can you get me an ice pack, or can you just swing by the doctor's office and pick up this sheet of paper, whatever it would be. And they would say, of course, I'll do that. And then what would happen? You're laid up at home, probably still working from home, being punished by the narcissistic boss. Yes, real example. And the narcissist would come home. They said they'd be home at 5:15. Well, maybe they came home at 7:45, and they're beaming and they're glowing. and you said, well, hey, I was texting you all day and wasn't sure if you're going to pick up the papers or the meds, or you didn't get back to me. What happened? And then they would tell you, what are you talking about? I got them. They're downstairs on the counter. Go grab them. And by the way, I'm going out to girls' night tonight, and I will see you tomorrow morning. And you're sitting there laid up. You can't even go downstairs. You don't know what's going on. The person who turns out to be your abuser, the person that perhaps you even fell in love with or cared about, who's supposed to be there with you through thick and thin, just blew up your whole day again. Now you're on the couch laid up. You can't even go downstairs to get the meds. They got the meds technically, but they're as soon as they got the meds and dropped them off, they're out the door because they don't care about you. See where all this is going? These are all games the narcissist plays. Once the narcissist gets what they want, they don't want it any longer, and they punish that person for being themselves. And that's what happens with people who are uneducated, naive, vulnerable, and trapped in the narcissistic relationship, maybe even the trauma bond, definitely the narcissistic fog. Here's another classic. You are at dinner with the narcissist, and of course you don't know what narcissism is. You're at dinner, and you make an agreement during this one dinner out of the 10,000 dinners you had. That's probably an exaggeration. Out of the 2,000 dinners you had, 5,000, whatever. You say, hey, let's put phones down tonight. Let's just talk and let's catch up. It's been a while. And you know something's wrong because you've been in the relationship a long time, but you don't know what narcissism is. So you put your phone down, you maybe even turn it off, and you're ready to spend quality time with someone who turns out to be toxic. What do? They say, okay, sure. They put their phone down, but the ringer's not off. You don't know this, of course, but you're thinking to yourself, wow, they're actually doing what I want them to do so we can spend quality time. Maybe this dinner that's usually 12 minutes, maybe it'll turn into 30 minutes or 45, and we can actually get to have adult conversations. Well, what happens? As soon as you open your mouth like clockwork, their phone rings or a text happens. And what do? They look at you and say, just wait. It's kind of important. Just wait. And now here you are, beet red, holding your breath, saying, but I thought we agreed to put our phones off and face down so we couldn't be interrupted. And they're looking at you and they're smiling and laughing, but not at you, at the person they're talking to, the person they're triangulating you with that you don't even know what triangulation is. And you are stuck looking at a menu that you've rehearsed or you've studied for the last 20 minutes over and over. You know every page and every hors d'oeuvre and every appetizer and every kind of everything they have in the menu, because you didn't order yet, because you're trying to have quality time with the narcissist. After about 6-7 minutes, they put the phone down and they look at you and say, what were you saying? Oh, I'm so hungry. Can you pass me that menu? I cannot wait to eat. They ignore you. They don't talk to you. And you may even ask them, hey, well, who was that on the phone? Because you looked like you're having a great time. And you were all excited and happy and jubilant. And they're like, oh, nobody, just an old high school friend. Wink, wink. But what do they give you when you're at that dinner with them? I'm talking about the narcissist. What do they do to you? There's no game face. There's no smiling. There's no laughing. There's no trying to act like they care about you. No, they're punishing you. But they showed you what could be when they're on the phone with the person who called them, who probably they were cheating on you with, but you never knew that. Maybe it was their best friend. Maybe it was their sister's boyfriend. I can't tell you who it was, but whoever it was, that wasn't a person who should have been contacting you at your dinner. And B, the narcissist should have had their phone off, but they don't care, because what they're looking for is supply, and they're looking to keep people, as many of them, on the hook as they possibly can. So there are more phone games of the narcissist. Here's another one, classic. Let's say you were just with the narcissist at a sporting event or a play or a recital or a concert, wherever you were. And you'd be standing next to them. Let's say it was a concert, you were standing up and you both had your phones, but the phones don't really matter because you're listening to music, you're having a good time. And then they say, hey, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, I'll be back in a few minutes. They go to the bathroom and now they've missed one song. They've missed two. They've missed three. Now it's intermission and they're nowhere to be found, and you text them or call them. It goes right to voicemail. You can't get through. And now the concert's halfway over and you cannot stand where you are in a sea of humanity. You have to go look for them and you're trying to figure out what bathroom they could be at, where they are. And you're looking everywhere, and now you missed the first 3 songs of the second set. You're looking and you look over at a bench and there's the narcissist. Yes, the person that perhaps you fell in love with, all cuddled up and really close to somebody a little bit younger than you, looking super attractive, in great shape, and they are exchanging phone numbers on their phone. You have a tough decision to make here. Do you walk up and encounter them or interact with them, or do you go back to where you were standing and then just see what happens when the narcissist is done flirting or triangulating or looking for your replacement? Well, that's a tough decision. Let's say for this example, you went back to standing where you were. Well, what happens? The narcissist may pop back up just in time for the encore and say they had an upset stomach, they weren't really feeling well, and that they're really sorry they missed the concert, but maybe next time. Or maybe, and you have to hold your breath because you can't say anything, or maybe, let's say you did call them out when they were on that bench talking with a supply source, and you're like, hey, what are you doing? Like, I've been calling you or texting you. Well, now you're going to get punished, because if you say something, now they're going to say, you don't owe me. Oh, this is so-and-so, my coworker. You don't even know them? They're people, I've known them for 3 years, and I just happened to bump into them. We're exchanging videos we took at the concert. What's your problem? See, you can't win no matter what happens, but these are the phone games of the narcissist. Here's a classic. How about the old butt dial? You know what a butt dial is by now. It's when someone calls you unintentionally and they say, ooh, sorry, didn't mean to call you. Or, ooh, sorry, didn't mean to disturb you. Well, a butt dial is when an innocent person calls somebody by accident. The narcissist is the master of the butt dial, but not just the butt dial, the butt text. I'll talk about the butt dial first. There are many times when the narcissist knows you're either getting wise or figuring out who they are, or maybe you were discarded, or maybe you're out of the relationship, and they will call you acting like that call was meant for somebody else. That is so the narcissist can still stay connected to you. You have to remember, the narcissist is a parasite. It's looking for a host. And the intentional butt dial, which I'm sure you experienced, it was when they were checking the pulse of you, the temperature of you, trying to lure you back in, or try to draw you in, or to steal your energy, or to have you call them back and say, hey, did you mean to call me? Like, what's going on? Well, that was intentional. And what about the intentional text? So many people I work with during one-on-one sessions have received these, and I was no different when I was trapped in the narcissistic abusive cycle. You receive a text out of the blue, and it sounds like it is not meant for you, and it's talking about some secret that the narcissist was doing behind your back. It doesn't have to be that way, but that's what it usually is, something like that, like this. Maybe you received a text, maybe it's a Wednesday at work, and you're working, doing whatever you could to pay the bills. You were in the narcissistic fog, maybe in the trauma bond. You were in love and you didn't know what was going on. You were clueless. You had no idea. Yeah, I'm talking about me, real life example. You get a text and it says something like, yeah, looking forward to seeing you tonight at 6:45. I'm so excited. I'll wear your favorite clothes. Now you get this at about 12 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon, and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? That's from so-and-so, say your partner, who turns out to be the narcissist. And then you're scratching your head saying, wait, was that meant for me? We don't have plans tonight. It's just an average night. We're going to be home. Or should I say, I'll be home alone, because every Wednesday night between 5 and 10, the narcissist is usually out claiming that they're at a seminar or attending some event, but they were lathering up new sources of supply, but you didn't know that back then. So you read this text. Now you're put in a very awkward position. Do you text them back and say, hey, was this meant for me? Do you do nothing? Do you call them? What do you do? Well, it doesn't matter what you do, because that was the intentional text, and it was meant for you. Whether that 6:45 rendezvous later in the evening was legit or not, I can't tell you. What I can tell you is the narcissist is always playing the phone games. They're always playing the texting games. They're always playing the spying games. They're always playing the lurking games, the creeping games. The narcissist knows exactly what they're doing. See, they don't think the way you think. They don't think above board, honest, authentic, genuine, and transparent. They think, how can I manipulate this person? How can I move that chess piece around? How can I get that person to destroy their own marriage, and then I can destroy them? How does that person have what I want and I need to get it? How do I figure out how to get that from them? This is why the narcissist is a shapeshifter. This is why these people never change. They only deteriorate over time. And that's why the narcissist will always continue to play more phone games. That's why the narcissist will continue to keep people trapped and stuck in that narcissistic fog, because these people, and I was one of them, and I'm sure that you were one, you didn't even know these other people, i.e. the narcissist, existed. You didn't know another person could intentionally, deliberately, and on purpose try to destroy your life and send you texts meant for you, but they appeared that they were meant for somebody else. You see, think about something. If somebody's cheating on somebody, first of all, shame on them. Shouldn't be doing that. Second of all, if someone's cheating on somebody and they're such a toxic person that they send a text deliberately to the person that is in love with them, planting seeds so that person just gets more and more trapped and they're in a lose-lose situation, that's what the narcissist does. The narcissist cares about nobody but themselves. And the sooner you get that message, the better off you will be. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. I love you all. It's getting dark right now. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And understand something. Keep sending emails, keep dropping comments, keep letting me know the kind of content that you want me to create. If there's certain topics or subjects, drop them in the comments. And of course, I do my best to read all of them. I can't get to all of them, but I do my best. I'm very active in the community, and I will continue to do so. So realize that the emails that I'm getting and the correspondence and all the people asking about certain topics, there's a reason. It's because it's the collective consciousness is bubbling up, and people want to know about the phone games of the narcissist. And as long as you have a smartphone, the phone games of the narcissist will continue to go on and on and on, which is why you need to have boundaries, and you need to maintain no contact, and you need to continue to get as far away from the toxic people as fast as you possibly can. These people, i.e. the narcissists, they don't change. They only want to take people down with them in that low vibrational quagmire state, and they don't want those people to ever, ever get out of it. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye.